The kind of happiness that settles over a wedding is unlike anything else. Warm, soft around the edges, like the world has temporarily agreed to be gentle. That's where I was, suspended in that glow. My heels were pinching a little. Champagne hummed pleasantly through my veins, and all around me my loud, chaotic, beloved family was spinning in every direction on the dance floor. Mark stood beside me, his arm resting comfortably at my waist. 7 years married, and for a moment it felt steady and surer. Or so I believed. I spotted my cousin Leo, weaving toward us through the crowd, his grin already forming. Leo had always been more of a sibling than a cousin. We'd grown up like twins in 2 houses, building forts, scraping knees, sharing secrets. He was the one who held me together at my dad's funeral when I was 16, wordlessly letting me cry into his shirt. Now he lived states away, and weddings were some of the only chances we had to reconnect. He reached us slightly breathless, slapped Mark on the back, gave me a quick one-armed hug, and joked that we were looking far too serious for a party. Then he held out his hand with an exaggerated flourish. "Come on, cuz they're playing our song." It wasn't our song. It wasn't even close. Just some bouncy pop cover. But that was Leo, corny, affectionate, full of heart. I glanced at Mark out of habit, silently checking in. He gave a stiff half smile and a short nod. His voice was flat when he said, "Go ahead." I should have recognized the warning in that tone. I'd heard it before, usually before an argument I never saw coming. But the music was loud and the air was full of celebration, and Leo had already tugged me toward the dancers. We moved in the goofiest way possible, arms flailing, singing the wrong lyrics, laughing hard enough to lose our breath. Nothing romantic, nothing intimate. Just pure, nostalgic silliness, the kind that only exists between people who share childhoods. For those few minutes, with spinning lights and my dress swishing around me, I felt 10 years old again. When the song ended, we leaned on each other, laughing so hard our ribs ached. Leo pressed an exaggerated kiss to my cheek and shouted, "Love you, you dork." "Love you too," I yelled back. It was innocent, completely, unquestionably innocent. Still smiling, I returned to our table and stopped short. Mark sat rigidly upright, his knuckles pale against his whiskey glass. The warmth of the room seemed to die around him. My smile faded. "Mark," I asked quietly, "are you okay?" He didn't look at me. His eyes were locked on something far away. When he finally spoke, his voice was soft, controlled. Too controlled. "Did you have fun?" "Yeah," I said, uneasy. "It was just Leo being." "I saw how he was looking at you," he cut in, voice colder. "And the way you were laughing. You made a spectacle of yourself. Of us." A heavy dread curled in my stomach. A spectacle? "Mark, we were just dancing. He's my cousin." "He's not your brother," he snapped. "And you're not some single woman at a bar. You're my wife. You let him touch you all over, and then you kiss him in front of everyone." He kissed my cheek. "It was nothing. Mark, this is—" My voice quivered. "This is ridiculous." His expression hardened. "Don't you dare call me ridiculous." He stood suddenly. People nearby turned at the noise of the chair scraping. "We're leaving." The drive home was suffocating. Not a word was spoken. Streetlights streaked across the windows, and I stared at them through angry, disbelieving tears. How had something so joyful been twisted into something ugly? At home, he headed straight to the kitchen for another drink. I stood in the living room, arms wrapped around myself, still in my dress, still stunned. "I'm not apologizing," I said into the quiet. "I dance with my family. That's all." He turned slowly, glass in hand. "It's not the dance," he said, tired but still simmering. "It's respect. You didn't think about how it looked. You didn't think about me. You crossed the line. And I can't be with someone who doesn't respect our marriage." That word, respect, hit me like a slap. This wasn't about respect. It was about control. And suddenly I saw a string of moments I'd brushed aside. The days of silent treatment, after I had lunch with a male co-worker. The comments about my outfits being a bit much. The teasing that wasn't really teasing when I smiled at the grocery store cashier. It all lined up, forming a picture I had been refusing to look at. The dance wasn't the issue. It was just a crack that finally let the truth shine through. I looked at the man I'd loved for years and felt something shift inside me, something sharp and bright and painful. "No," I said. He blinked, stunned. "What did you say?" I said no. I stood straighter. My voice steadied. "I'm not letting you punish me for being happy. I won't let you turn a moment with my cousin into something shameful. It was joyful. It was mine. And if you can only see it as a threat to your ego, that's not my burden." He stared at me, blindsided. He was waiting for tears, for apologies, for the usual collapse. They weren't coming. "So what are you saying?" he asked, low and dangerous. "I'm saying I'm going upstairs," I replied. "And tomorrow we're going to talk about what respect actually looks like, because from where I'm standing, you don't seem to have any for me." I walked away without slamming a door, without looking back. Upstairs, the bedroom felt foreign, like a stage set for a life I wasn't sure was mine anymore. I changed out of my dress, the fabric suddenly heavy with lost joy, and lay in the dark listening to faint clink of ice from downstairs. The wedding was over. The music had faded. But in that silence, I heard something I hadn't listened to in years. The steady, stubborn beat of my own heart. The woman who danced under those sparkling lights, carefree and alive. She was still there, and she deserved far more than a life measured by someone else's insecurities. The dance had ended, but my fight had only just begun.